Happy New Year!
So in today's video, we want to share with you guys what it cost us to travel full-time in 2024.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a full wrap, all of our recurring costs, everything we spent. If you go back to our previous cost of living videos, those videos did not include flights. They did not include any of our recurring costs that we have. So we're gonna give you the full cost, everything we spent in 2024 traveling.
And the reason those videos did not include these other costs is because we really wanted to focus on what we spent in the countries.
Yeah, exactly.
So in 2024, we spent most of our time outside of the US. We've been traveling full-time since 2022. But this was the first time that we were spending most of our time outside of the US.
Exactly.
So this is very interesting for us. This is because we haven't been in the US, so we've been traveling to different countries.
Exactly.
So we are so interested in this just as much as you guys.
Exactly. In December of 2023, we sold our car. So now this is the first time that we're traveling with no car. So we don't have that expense either, which is nice.
Yeah. So starting out in January, we had spent the holidays with family. So we were in the US for that part of the, ending the year of 2023.
Exactly.
A few days into January, we decided to take a 31-day cruise.
Yeah, it was 3 back-to-back cruises on the same ship. We went to a bunch of different ports. It was really amazing. A lot of new ports for us. It was 14 different ports in the 31 days.
Right.
And that was actually our first time in South America. We went to Cartagena, Colombia. So
Right.
we just a little piece of South America, but
Yeah, this was we had a wonderful time. This was a great cruise. And as you can see that we're going to be showing you guys all of our costs on our spreadsheet there.
Exactly.
So our cruise was $5,885, and the miscellaneous cost that you're seeing there is our excursions. We didn't do an excursion in all of the ports. There's no way.
No, and I believe we booked about 3 excursions with Royal Caribbean, and the rest of the time we kind of just went off on our own, either explored the port on our own or just took local public transportation to a different beach.
Right.
And then the next cost you see in there is flights. That's a round trip flight, that $235, and that was a round trip flight from Atlanta to Miami.
Right. So we were going to come back home and visit family again in May
in Atlanta.
So that's why we got round trip flights for this part. So yeah, so as you can see, that January time and that cruise and that expense was $6,722.
Yeah, and all of the other costs that are there, entertainment, dining out, of course, groceries, that's all included in the cruise. So.
Right, yeah. Exactly. And we put the price of the cruise in the accommodations because it's hard to price every single category when it comes to cruises.
Exactly.
So our cruise left from Miami and came back to Miami. So when we came back after those 31 days, we spent a little time in Miami, just a few days, get ourselves together.
Took care of some things, and we did taxes and just a few little silly things before leaving the country.
Right.
And then we flew to Mexico. We went to Mexico City.
Right. So here you're going to see, when it comes down to flights, you'll see that again, because again, we needed to come back home in May. So we got round trip flights to Mexico, and that's why you see the cost there of $725.
Exactly.
So we had a wonderful time in Mexico. I mean, this country is full of culture and history, and it's just one of those places where it's almost like a must go at some point.
It really is. The energy in Mexico City is second to none. The food is amazing. The street food is amazing. We had an overall very positive experience. It was wonderful.
And this is actually the longest stay.
Yeah.
We were there for 105 days, so about 3.5 months in Mexico. The rest of the year were shorter stays. But
while we were there, you can see there's a little bit of cost in the healthcare area. We had our dental cleanings were done there, and that was about $50 a person.
Yes.
But as you can see, it was $189. The extra cost, I had some night guards that were made while we were there.
Yes.
So that was the additional cost. But the dentist itself, the cleaning, was only $50 per person.
And again, because we were spending time outside of the country, this was the first time that we experienced, I guess, some sort of healthcare outside of the US.
Yeah.
So this was really new for us, but it was a wonderful experience. And of course, the first thing you notice, the biggest thing that we have noticed is that the dentist is the one who is performing the cleaning. So this was new for us, and it was something that was very welcomed.
Yeah.
So we're going to be all of this that we're sharing with you. Of course, we have videos on particularly these stays, so you can go back, and if you want more information on the details of everything we've done in these countries, by all means, check out our other videos.
The personal care. This is where we started to get gym memberships.
And this was the first. Again, Mexico was definitely like our trial run for a lot of these things and how to live in places and not just run through as a tourist, right?
Right.
So yeah, so that's the personal care here was mostly our gym.
And miscellaneous category that you see there, you'll see this is an ongoing theme in the miscellaneous category. I'm getting a tattoo in each country we visit. So that is covered in the miscellaneous category too.
Right.
You'll see from our spreadsheet that we try to stay in places for at least a month. And to be honest, we really love the 2 to 3 month time period. We really feel that it lets us dig in and explore and have a little bit of free time in addition to going out and exploring the sights of the city without feeling pressured. And we also feel like it saves us a lot of money. Not only are we getting the monthly discounts on the Airbnbs,
right.
There are times that we've had luck contacting the host with the Airbnb and saying, is there any additional discount that we can get? And
for staying 2 months, 3 months.
3 months,
right.
Exactly. And at times they do give us an extra 5%, sometimes 10% additional discount. And another thing we love is when it comes to the groceries, if we see something on sale, we can buy the larger shampoo or the 2-pack of toothpaste or the 2-pack of mouthwash because we know that we're there long enough to use it. And those are always great ways to save money. Since we're going to be there a while, it helps.
And when it comes to discovering the city, we never feel pressured to must visit places on this day at this time, right?
Exactly.
So if it's raining out, we're good. Okay, today's not the day that we're going to go and venture out.
Today
we have another day and another day.
Yeah.
So it's been great because now these places for us have all been new. So we are lost all the time. So we're not quite sure how things work. We're discovering it all. So this allows us to be able to just take in those small bites, go out, we explore one thing or do one activity, and then we can come back and regroup, and then learn something new. And then when we head out again, we already know maybe the process, we're better informed. So it has been so helpful to be able to just one day, one activity maybe, and then we won't do anything for a couple of days. One day we'll go out to dinner or discover something, and then we come home and cook for several days. So we have really enjoyed that.
And now that we've done it too for a year, we like it even more.
Yes.
I mean, you'll see that I do get a tattoo in each location, and these tattoos have actually forced us to go into a new area and discover a new location. Typically the shop is in a new neighborhood. But we found the neatest neighborhoods, the coolest restaurants, the most awesome coffee shops by having the extra time to go and discover these neighborhoods.
Right. We have found ourselves really enjoying slow travel. We have even commented, with each other, we're like, this is so nice that we're here for such a long time because it just really takes the pressure off of having to run through and just like check the boxes, right, of all the different places you want to see.
Saves us money on flights, saves us a lot of money on the transportation that can add up. It just works out great for us.
So after our stay in Mexico, we came back to the US, which we needed to come back to spend some time with family. So that's where our round trip flights came in handy. We flew from Mexico to Miami, and then from Miami back to Atlanta.
Exactly.
So this basically, as you can see, this when it comes to all of that, a few days in January, coming back in February from the cruise, and then spending some time with family in May, that totaled 14 days in the United States. And that was all the time we were going to spend in the United States.
Yeah, this was our shortest travel. And the costs are a little bit more when you do travel for short periods of time.
Of course, our transportation costs here are the highest because we needed to rent a car. We no longer had a car in the US. So it adds up a little bit in the US, but overall we spent so little time. We are very comfortable with the cost there.
Yeah.
So then we went off to Europe.
Yeah.
We headed off to Krakow, Poland.
Yeah.
We wanted to spend the summer there, and we chose Krakow because we felt that other European cities just get so crowded, and the summer is, of course, the high season for a lot of these areas,
and the warmest part of the year too. So we wanted to be a little bit north when it came to Europe.
Right.
You know.
Right.
We had a bit of a long flying day, and it was we kind of learned a hard lesson that day. That was kind of neat because we got to spend our 15-year wedding anniversary in 3 different countries.
Yes.
But it was a bit of a rough day of flying, and we had a flight cancellation in there.
Right.
Like we had
at the end,
Yeah.
the last flight. We
The
were
last
almost
leg.
there.
The last leg.
We were just headed from London to Krakow,
Yeah.
and then that flight got canceled, and there wasn't going to be another flight until possibly the following day.
Yeah.
So we were so exhausted at this point that we ended up just canceling that flight and jumping on a last-minute flight that was going from London to Krakow that same day.
Yeah, so the flights there are a little bit expensive, but when you consider for 2 people to get to Europe, about $600 a person is really not bad when you're talking about the summertime to get from the US to Europe.
True. So we spent the summer in Krakow, and it was amazing, beautiful city. It was great to be there.
As you'll see from these costs, and what's included in these costs is a few day trips and a few overnight trips as well. We stayed in a hotel when we visited Zakopane in southern Poland, and we went to hike to Lake Morskie Oko, which was absolutely beautiful. And we have some previous videos on that as well.
And Krakow is the one place that we did venture out to other cities.
Yeah.
Most of the time we choose a city and we kind of stay there and we explore, that city. All these places are new for us, so we don't feel the need to have to venture out too much. I feel like every country has just so much to offer. For us to try to cover too much ground would just be exhausting.
Yeah.
So we kind of choose one city and just stay there.
It's just a mix of really truly getting the feel of what life is like in the city.
Yeah. But we did venture out in Krakow.
Yeah.
We went to Wrocław, and it was because of a car show that you really wanted to attend. Otherwise, we probably would have stayed in Krakow the whole time.
Possibly, yeah.
It's also it's so hard because these cities are also, when it comes to Europe, they're so well connected. It is so tempting to just jump on a train and in a couple of hours you're someplace else.
Or less, yeah. It's amazing.
And Zakopane, we felt that this was an area that was just so beautiful, and the hiking in this area was amazing, and all kinds of mountain activities. So it was really
it was awesome.
we had to do it.
It's a place that we feel like we'd like to go back to and spend a month and just go and hike. You know?
And you'll see from our videos, we always, if we can, we try to find a little nature somewhere where we can stroll along, go into some green spaces, find the parks, find the a hiking. It's just
trail.
Nice. It's just nice to get out into nature. And if we have that available to us, we're probably going to try to do something like that.
So we finished up our awesome stay in Krakow, and then we were headed east. Our next stop was Istanbul, Turkey. And again, a first for us. We spent 52 days in Istanbul. It was a direct flight, so it was easy. Krakow to Istanbul, short, just a couple hours, and that flight, $438 for both of us.
Turkey was amazing. Istanbul was great. One of the things you're going to see, you see all of our costs for Istanbul. What was interesting during our time there was that they're going through really bad inflation. We had seen a lot of videos of people commenting on how the prices were high here.
The costs have gone up a lot in Turkish lira. Now, the strength of the US dollar in comparison, obviously really helped us there, and we felt that it was very affordable.
We were really happy with the prices here. Again, if you check out our other video where we go through a little bit more detail, we would go out to dinner and it'd be tough to get to $10.
Eating local, we found that it was very, very affordable, very cost effective. Istanbul is a great example of where we stayed just 1 or 2 metro stops or train stops outside of the main tourist area. So we were 1 train stop away from Taksim Square. But from our place, we had access to 3 major grocery stores, a huge mall, so much great local food all around us. And it was so cost effective to stay one stop away from a main tourist area.
And
explore
so far
more.
in all of these countries, we have gotten gym memberships.
Yep.
So we are able to walk to a gym, perfectly equipped. And that adds up to the cost that the gyms are not necessarily cheap, especially when you are only doing it for a month, 2 months. So they're not bad either.
No.
But we are definitely spending on that as well. And so far, it's worked out really well. While we were in Istanbul, we started to realize we are traveling slowly.
Yeah.
So it's only a handful of flights for the whole year. And we thought, why are we carrying around these heavy backpacks?
Yeah.
And of course, you worry every time when you get to the airport that your backpack is going to be overweight.
And
so we thought,
yeah, and pretty much every flight that we're taking is an international flight, and almost all of them include a checked bag.
Exactly.
So we figured, why are we doing this? We're struggling with our backpacks, we're with the weight of them, and got, I think it was $50 or $55
for both,
for 2 bags.
Yes.
So we bought some luggage while we were there, and we bought we refreshed our t-shirts while we were there.
So that's why you see those miscellaneous costs are including all those different things and some shopping and different things that happen.
And that one in Istanbul also includes the tattoo I got.
That's right. Istanbul was really amazing. And for us, we didn't feel that the prices were bad during our time. If anything, we felt it was very, very affordable.
Yeah.
After Istanbul, we came over to Bangkok, Thailand.
Yes.
And that was a long flight.
Yeah, about a 9-hour flight.
So you'll see the cost of the flight here.
Yeah.
Another thing that you're seeing also in our costs is that ATM / cash category.
Yeah.
So again, we are new to a lot of these places. We're not exactly 100% sure how things are going to be. So we always tend to take out a little cash and deal with cash when we need to. But then sometimes we find that some countries have more access to tap to pay.
Yeah.
So that has been really nice when we're able to tap to pay everywhere. We prefer that than to be handing out or having a lot of cash with us. So in Mexico, it was like a mix of both. We noticed that in Poland, there was a lot of tap to pay. So minimal cash here, and Turkey was a bit of a mix.
That was a bit.
There was some places we needed cash. Most of the time we were able to tap to pay. So that's why our ATM fees here kind of vary.
The cash that we withdrew,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. Not the ATM fees, but the cash that we withdrew.
Yeah.
One thing in Thailand, speaking of the cash, is that you'll see that I just put 0 there because Bangkok was a cash country.
Yeah.
There was very, very minimal opportunity to use your credit card and tap to pay in places. It was pretty much all cash. The only place that we were able to really use our credit cards was groceries.
Yeah.
Basically, if I had put the amount of money in cash, then you wouldn't see the other categories.
It would throw off a lot of the dining out, the personal care.
Right.
We got a lot of massages while we were in Bangkok,
right.
so
But
it would have thrown off all those.
It's all cash. That's why we had to not just put that at 0, but really all that money that you see, almost all the money that was spent in Bangkok, it was cash.
Yeah. And I know you're seeing here, there's a bit of a little unfair comparison between Bangkok and Istanbul. 52 days versus 59 days. We spent quite a bit more in Bangkok, but in there, I bought a tablet, so there's a few $100 expense.
So we did some shopping while we were
a little bit of shopping while we were there. And also the personal care category, we went and got a lot of massages while we were there.
Yeah,
so,
we didn't spend a lot, but
nothing crazy. But when you compare the costs,
we do find that it's very interesting that for our time in Istanbul and our time in Bangkok, that the costs are very close.
Yeah, they are very close. The transportation was a little bit more, as you can see. The BTS line is air conditioned, so it was just very convenient and super easy.
One thing you're going to see in the categories for Thailand is that healthcare category. So it was time again for us to get dental cleanings. So we found a dentist and we were so happy with the service. And we only spent $30 per person to get dental cleanings here.
Yeah,
and one other thing that we really liked about this dentist, again, is that the dentist is doing the cleaning and the procedure and, looking through your mouth and everything. So we just love that. It's just, we just get a kick out of it because we're so not used to having the dentist do that.
We're used to a hygienist. In the US, it's a hygienist that does the cleanings.
Right. So this was great here in Thailand. Yeah. So we ended the year, and this is where we are now. We are in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Yeah.
So as you can see there, that was a simple flight. It wasn't too bad. It was one of our more affordable.
Just a couple hour easy flight, which was nice.
Yeah. And so because that we came here at mid-December and ending the year, that's why you only see 19 days there. Exactly. So I kind of prorated the amounts that we have spent.
Yeah, and you might think that those costs are kind of high, but these are kind of our just getting going costs. We're buying things for the place to make ourselves comfortable, because we're here for 3 months. We're stocking up on things. We're buying the larger shampoos. We're buying the 2-pack of mouthwash. So we're stocking up.
The first couple of weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in a brand new country is definitely a high spend for us.
Yeah,
because we are figuring things out. We're trying to find the grocery store that's going to offer the best prices and selection for us. Which one has the better prices and
selection? Easier to get to by foot.
And we are replenishing everything from spices to, we're starting from scratch.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the cost can be a little high here. We're perfectly fine with that. We accept it.
That's just how it is. The first month is always more costly than the second and third.
We take advantage of that time to get ourselves situated and make ourselves comfortable in our new home.
Yeah, exactly.
So in Kuala Lumpur, we're going to be here for 3 months.
Yeah.
So this definitely is money well spent for us to make ourselves comfortable and get ourselves situated in a new country.
So the last category here on the spreadsheet is the recurring costs. These are things, as you can see, like Netflix, our VPN, and health insurance there. Our health insurance is only $300. That's because we actually didn't carry a policy from January through October.
Right.
So this is only November and December of 2024. And we chose Genki, and we pay $150 per month for both of us for a policy.
Right. And this is an international policy that will cover most costs for any emergency or any health-related things outside of the U.S.
Yeah, and it allows us to spend a little bit of time in the U.S., but we couldn't go back there for months on end.
Right.
And be covered.
Right. So Genki does offer multiple plans. For us and our age, we are spending $150 total. For both of us. So we are so far really happy with this plan. We did start it kind of late in November.
Overall, I feel blessed. We're healthy, but you feel a little bit more confident with healthcare costs when you get out of the U.S. If something were to happen, we feel confident that we could probably handle it. And we're not out there doing daredevil stuff and jumping out of planes and doing high-speed bicycling or anything like that. So we took a risk, but it was calculated as well. And the last thing here on the list we have is our VentureX annual fees. We both have Capital One VentureX cards. The annual fee is $395 per year each. However, we get a $300 per year travel credit. And so that's $600 of the $780. In addition, we get 10,000 points each, which is worth $100 each. So it ends up about $5 in our favor for having these cards.
Right. This is actually the first time we've ever gotten a card with an annual fee.
Yeah, we've never done this before.
Right, but before we were leaving to travel, we saw this credit card. We felt really confident that we would definitely use all the features that it brings, and so far we have really enjoyed it.
One of the big things that we just love are lounges. Since now we're flying a little bit more, we can it comes with priority pass, and we can access the lounges before our flights, and that's been a bit of a game changer because you have a more relaxing, calm atmosphere if you have a layover.
We're never fans of travel day.
No.
So this really has made it a lot more comfortable for us on flying day to have a relaxing, day. So overall, we are really happy with our VentureX credit cards, and we know that we're going to be paying this fee moving forward. But We are very happy with the travel credits that we're getting. Like we said, 600 of that is travel credits, so you can minus 600 somewhere in there. But it really isn't significant enough to make a huge difference here when it comes to our totals. But as you can see, recurring costs, we're looking at about $1,100, $1,200 per year so far, and we'll see what 2025 brings.
Yeah.
You know? So now for our grand total, what we spent for a whole year.
For everything.
Yeah.
This is the total.
Of travel. And we are shocked at this number because we are just living our lives.
Yeah.
We are going to these places. We're trying to live there. We're enjoying the sights, but also grocery shopping, you know, cooking at home, different things like that, going to the gym. So having regular lives as much as possible.
Correct. I mean, this is our first time doing this. And I wouldn't consider us budget travelers.
Right.
We're not out there just looking for a totally cheap place and a budget place that how little can we spend. I feel like we're somewhere in between the budget and mid-range, I guess, you know?
Yeah. So the total cost for a full year of full-time slow travel for 2024 was $41,210.
Yeah.
So we are shocked at this number.
We were pretty blown away.
Again, we didn't know what it was going to be. We're trying to just live our lives, and $41,000 traveling the world like this, we're astounded.
It's pretty unreal that this is possible.
We truly believe, and we really are enjoying slow travel, and we truly believe that slow travel is probably the key here. And I think a lot of travelers might agree with this based on their own experiences and budget, right? Is that when you stay in a place a little longer, you're definitely going to save in the financial side of it.
Yeah, and you can see from our flights here, we didn't crisscross a lot. We didn't backtrack. We kept moving forward.
Right,
Obviously, we will need to get back at one point. So that's staying in places for a long time. That, like she said, it's the key.
So what do you guys think of these costs? Are you as surprised as we are?
We hope you guys liked the video. If you did, go ahead and hit the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to our channel for more of our travel adventures.
And slow travel with us.
Bye.
Bye.